Hello, everyone, and welcome to the 5th episode of the Fans of DC Universe podcast, the only DCU podcast for the fans by the fans, and the best source for all DC Universe news and discussion on everything DC Universe. Our fearless leader, Nathan, is on vacation. By the way, happy birthday, Nathan. Joining us
Happy
today,
birthday!
will be me, New 52, Donnell,
Hello.
Toonatonian,
Hi.
and AquamonC.
Howdy, y'all.
Now, today we're going to be talking about August new titles, Young Justice Episode 20, and Swamp Thing's series finale. But before we start, our heart goes out to Warren Appleby, a stunt coordinator on Titans, who died after a stunt rehearsal went wrong. For the next 2 weeks, we will have a moment of silence in honor of him. Thank you for joining us in that moment of silence. Now, let's move on to what's coming out this week. Donnell?
All right. Yeah. So comics. It's been a great time. And the new ones that came out this week included Action Comics 1001, Aquaman 38, Batman Beyond 22, DC Beach Blanket Bad Guys Special Number 1, Detective Comics 985, Doomsday Clock 6, Flash 51, Hal Jordan and the Green Lantern Corps number 49, Hellblazer 24, Justice League Dark number 1, Mara Queen of Atlantis number 6, Mother Panic Gotham AD number 5, Silencer number 7, Teen Titans number 20, Terrifics number 6, Wonder Woman 51. And then for the older stuff that's been recently digitized, that's a lot of fun for many of us, the Detective Comics 319, Doom Patrol number 9, Our Man number 17, Our Man number 18, House of Secrets 105, Johnny Thunder number 4, Law 3, Superman Presents the Phantom Zone number 4, and of course my personal favorite, Supergirl's Girlfriend Lois Lane number 9. Also Vertigo, we got some stuff kind of sneaky there. If you checked into office hours Thursday night, Applejack was explaining all those shenanigans. But Vertigo Visions, Phantom Stranger number 1, House of Mystery 2008 number 1 through 43, and Madame Xanadu 2008 number 1 through 28. Now, before I blather about what I've been reading, what else have you folks been reading from that list?
I read a little bit of the DC Beach Blanket Bad Guys Special Number 1 today. Those are always
Me
enjoyable.
too. Did you
It's
like
fun,
that one with
right?
Lex Luthor? I really love the Lex Luthor one.
See, I only read the Bizarro and Joker and the Cheetah one. False
Wow.
Idols.
Very cool.
Those are so fun, the one-shot, like, seasonal issues.
It's just funny that we both decided to read that of all these, but it just looked like fun. I had to just take a peek.
Yep, me too. How was the one you read?
It was really cool. It was somebody who's just a Superman fan, has a tattoo of a Superman symbol, and he stops by to help Lex Luthor that has a flat tire in the desert. Just hilarious. Of course, Lex hates the guy because he's got a Superman tattoo. So it's just kind of fun.
Appropriate. Nice.
It was just a nice, fun read. Anybody read anything else of this list?
Yeah, I read Justice League Dark for my World of Wonder comic book club, and it's spinning off of Justice League No Justice. It's pretty interesting, pretty cool, great art. Wonder Woman is now putting together a team of magic users or just people involved in the magical realm, and they're trying to figure out what's happening to magic now with the events following No Justice.
Very cool. And by the way, New 52, congratulations on starting your World of Wonder Wonder Woman book reading club. That's, again, a wild venture on your part. That's one of the big 3.
Yeah, well, thank you. I've always wanted to read the George Perez run, and I thought to myself, well, I might as well make it into a book club and have other people join me.
Yeah, the same thing I did with the Legion.
Oh, sorry, Don.
Oh, no, it's okay. Go ahead.
I was just saying George Perez's Wonder Woman is pretty excellent. I haven't read a lot of Wonder Woman runs, but that one's definitely good. I'm a George Perez fan. Him and Mark Wolfman were an excellent team. I know Wolfman wasn't part of that run, but them two together just like gold.
Yeah, I keep hearing that, and I have to agree so far. I'm 4 issues in, and it's really strong, really solid. The art's great, the story's great.
Well, what fun. How about you, AquamonC137? Anything in there that you had a chance to look at?
So I do read a lot of stuff. Not all of it's on this list, but I am reading the Doomsday Clock. I think that's, in my opinion, one of the best runs that's going on right now in DC, along with Deceased and the Leviathan or whatever run that's going.
Right, Leviathan. Yeah, I read I got the JL Dark #1, so it's nice
Yeah.
to see it appear on the digital because I got the hard copy. It's very good.
Yeah,
Doomsday Clock. Yeah, I've been following that one, so it's nice. It's kind of like I still feel like it's so new. It's weird to see it show up on the digitized already, but it's
yeah.
good because then everyone else can join in. Go for it.
And the one that I
Cool.
guess looks like it was released was the 6th issue, which it dealt with what is it, the mime and Marinette, like their kind of origin and whatnot. It's a really great story and kind of heartbreaking a little, and of course the art is just fantastic.
It is, and it was my first like experience with mime, and it was great.
They're hilarious, aren't they?
Hilarious and evil.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I have a dark sense of humor. I try to tone it down on the threads.
That's that stuff with the wire that they do. Yikes. All right. Well, fantastic. I guess what I'll do is I'll turn it over then to Toonatonian.
All right, so let's talk about what we're all watching. New this month on DCU, we had yesterday Constantine, the 2005. Today, the Swamp Thing season finale, which we'll definitely talk about here in a bit, so be ready for spoilers. Coming August 9th, DC Spotlight Shazam. Finally, August 13th, we'll get the animated Batman Hush. Young Justice Outsiders, new episodes. Those are coming up August 6th, 13th, and the 20th. Flash from the past, we've got 1967, Aquaman, remastered on August 16th. Batman Beyond, August 23rd, Season 1. Also remastered. Young Justice Outsiders, the season finale, end of the month, August 27th. So this
That's a
week we
lot
had
of
Young
good
Justice.
content.
It is. Yeah, it's exciting. It's going to be a great month.
I'm definitely excited.
So what do you
for
guys
the-
like of that? I myself am looking forward to Batman Hush. And also, I got to take a peek at that Aquaman 67. I didn't even know there was such a.
Yeah, I didn't know what it was either.
Me either. So yeah, it'll be my first. I hadn't even heard of it. So
Shucks, shame
We'll
on
see.
y'all.
oh, we're slipping.
I'm actually looking forward to that. I didn't even know they were remastering it. I have not seen it in forever. Like I always get it confused with just the general the Super Friends cartoon, really.
Yeah.
I'm going to take us a little bit on this topic and a little off as well. Constantine, that's listed there that you just talked about, Toontonian. There's going to be a watch along, and I'm trying to think. I think it's Sunday late afternoon that Biff Pow is going to be doing, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, it always falls later. Yeah, it always falls later in the night, and I keep missing it. I'm gonna stay up late one of these nights and get it. Hopefully before it ends.
There's only one more.
Mm-hmm. We can hope.
And then, speaking of watch-alongs, I'll just quickly mention one or two others I'm aware of, and Aquaman C137. I mentioned any others I'm forgetting. But I believe Sunday night also JL is doing an Aquaman the movie watch-along. and right after that, I think right around 9 o'clock Eastern p.m. And then Monday night we have our regular Krypton watch along. Those that have recordings of it from season 2. And then Wednesday is the once a month watch along of the Legion Club of Legion of Superheroes animated that I'm aware coming up as well. So there's all kinds of stuff going on with what's available outside of the comic book world for sure.
Yeah, and I think we need to make sure we get a watch along for the DC Spotlight Shazam, because I'm excited about that one.
Oh wow, yeah. Well, let us know. Yeah, what fun. Just we'll talk about that more, I guess, on Discord and figure out a way to do that. Yep.
I'm looking forward to the Aquaman watch along for sure. That's a great movie.
You know what kills me is I finally watched it last weekend for the first time with my wife. It's a little too soon for me now to watch it a second time, but I absolutely loved the way that they built the fictional world so incredibly. It was just a lot of fun to watch.
Yeah, the special effects are gorgeous.
That's the word for it. It wasn't like terrifying all that time or anything like that. It was just beautiful. It was just very beautifully made. A lot of fantastic colors and all that, and a lot of positive stuff. I love the way that in the end of the movie, there's like really no villains. It's like, hey, where'd all the villains go? Except, of course, Black Manta, I guess. Yeah, very cool. We're all just a big family. Not to ruin anything for anybody, of course.
And Jason Momoa,
anything else, Toonatonian?
I'm glad that Batman Hush. I'm glad we're all going to get to see that on DCU.
Yes.
Yeah, I agreed with. Right? Yeah, I'm waiting. I'm like been holding out. It's been hard to hold out and wait. Vroom over on the boards, he had mentioned he felt exactly the same way. We're like, come on, please let us see it. Don't make us wait. But I did. I'm proud of myself. I'm waiting. But yeah, it'll be good to finally see it.
Voodoo the other day, and it's like advertising Hush. I could watch it now if I want to on Voodoo. It's like, no.
I know. Yeah, and like avoiding like any spoilers on the internet. I'm like tiptoeing around it. Yeah.
I know. I can't go on
YouTube. A little
YouTube.
different.
I can't go on YouTube without seeing thumbnails of the whole thing.
Right? Yeah.
I'm interested to see what kind of twist they put on the ending. I know they like to, change it up from the, original source material. I'd like to see how they end it. Like,
that's what I'm hearing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Me
I
too.
really like how they put the twist on what was it? Gotham by Gaslight. That was a really good ending, I thought.
It was. I really, really enjoyed that too.
We're definitely getting our money's worth. I feel bad for those that are all upset with the service. I just feel like I'm enjoying all avenues of it. Of course, I do need to have people spoon feed it to me with watch-alongs, though. That's the sad part. Or podcasts. All right.
Yeah.
Now, go ahead, Tony, and maybe take us to the next step about this and that.
How about Swamp Thing? Are we going there?
Well, there was the thing about Young Justice episode 2 that we had a little note on. Did anybody watch Young Justice?
I'm behind, so someone else is going to take that.
I saw Young Justice episode 20. Aquaman, did you?
Yeah, I saw it.
So this episode covered Cyborg dealing with the father box tech that's trying to take over his entire body. Also, we had a pretty big reveal about Calder, and it also covered child abuse with Harper Row. So what did you think about it, Aquaman?
I love the fourth world stuff. I mean, I love any kind of fourth world story. Having Cyborg get fixed in the Mobius chair was pretty cool. That whole Calder thing or whatever, the threads were exploding. I really don't care. I mean, it's whatever. Like Aqualad or Aquaman now, he's like my favorite Young Justice character, and I just want to see more of him in it. Mm-hmm. I feel like he's been seriously lacking in the show.
Yeah, when they went to go track down Metron and they appeared in the source wall, they came out of the god's nose. That scene was so freaking cool, seeing the source wall.
Definitely. One thing that bothered me though, I feel like no one was talking about it was like I can't imagine the source wall has its own atmosphere, and none of them had any kind of protective gear or respirators. I was just like, what's the deal there?
Yeah. Well, you do have a half Kryptonian, then Forager. We don't really know what his body can do.
Well,
Who
Black
else
Lightning was
left?
there though.
Oh, true.
He was just strolling around like everything was fine.
Well, who knows? But we did hear that the Furies got the last mineral that Granny and Desaad needed for whatever they're planning. So we're probably going to get a follow-up to that soon.
That was something that kind of bummed me out, and I feel like they've done that a few times in the season. I can't recall exactly which episodes or what the situation was, but I felt like a lot of like the episodes are kind of feel more like a tie-in kind of situation, and like you know how like Clark is explaining to Connor, you know, about having to fight the Furies and everything. When I was
Mhm.
watching that, I was like, oh dude, let me see that. I want to see that. And
Yeah.
they just kind of brush over it, and I feel like that would have been very cool. I did not really care for the ending. I get what you mean, Donnell, with the whole like for lack of a better term, like the still animation kind of scene. I felt like it just didn't really work. That's just me personally. But
Ooh, that again, huh?
Yeah, it
yeah,
just really did not work in this episode. I have to say, when it happened in the Vandal Savage episode, I thought it was fine. I thought it worked with the narrative because it looked like a storybook and we were getting it narrated that episode. On this episode, it just felt like, okay, you're obviously trying to cut corners to save time, which that's fine, but it's obvious.
yeah, I
That's
agree,
too bad.
and like I didn't mind it with the Savage, and I believe we talked about this last time I was on or whatever. But I'm just happy that Savage is in it. I'm a big Savage fan. Pretty easy to please as long as he's in there.
Yeah. Um, what did you think about Harper, Rowe, and McGann, their whole dynamic this episode?
Okay, this might sound harsh, but before people go judging me, like I grew up in the system a little bit, and so like I completely sympathize with the abuse and all that kind of stuff. But I felt like the acting was like super cheesy. Like I literally was kind of cracking up at it. Like when she went to go like hug him at the end, it's like, oh, my dad hits me. I'm sorry, it just felt like just bad acting.
Yeah, the voice acting was a little off as well as the animation, like when she jumps into McGann's arms. But I gotta say, I like that they're at least addressing this because they do have a younger audience. That should be able to, access information about what to do when they're in that situation. So I like that little bit at the end where they threw in the hotline. Um, but yeah, the voice acting could have been better and the animation could have been better in that scene.
One
Now,
Yeah,
thing,
yeah.
one thing that was
they
good
kind
about
of
it was
probably.
that. Oh, I'm sorry, go on.
No, I was gonna say they probably just were holding back a little bit, kind of like kid gloves, maybe. I'd like to think that rather than they rushed it.
Yeah, it did feel out of place in the episode's narrative though.
Why approach it with kid gloves when they're not approaching the other topics with kid gloves in the show? It seemed like, but I'm
True.
glad it brought some resolution to that episode with her, like explaining and pointing out that it wasn't her actions and everything weren't good with like the whole drinking and firearms when she was with Violet, because that whole scene kind of bothered me. I didn't really understand why it was in the episode. I just didn't think it was a good choice, but like seeing this, it made more sense. So I'm glad that they did it like that.
Yeah, it did add more to Harper's character, and I feel like we're going to be seeing more of her. So this is always a good thing to know more about these characters. Now, what did you think about the whole situation with Violet going to see the family of the person she's now possessed?
I like that quite a bit. To like, I thought that was nicely done, honestly. Like to give the mother and their family like closure and everything like that. Like, I that scene definitely got thumbs up for me.
Yeah, I'm not sure how I feel about Violet. Like sometimes she's really interesting, other times it is kind of weird. She's walking around in that body that's not really hers, and I mean, it's interesting.
mother boxes, you know how they are. But one thing that interests me was like, so when she was explaining to the mom or something, she said that she was in the process of trying to heal her, and she got merged with her. I'm wondering if they're gonna end it with like the mother box spirit going back into like a mother box or something like that, and the Violet's character, I'm having trouble remembering her name right now. Sorry.
So
But
am
what
I.
if, yeah, but what if she like comes back to life or whatever?
Yeah, because we did see the father box soul go back into the Mobius chair. Maybe they could do something like that with Violet.
Yeah, that would be cool. But I mean, I like how she is now, but I'm also a fan of Kenny from South Park, so I mean,
But if they were to do that, would the body of the person she's taken over still be deteriorating and dying?
I'm really wondering if that's even true though, because the
Oh,
doctor, I can't remember her name, but you know,
Jace?
she's not a good person in the comics. So like, and I'm very curious to see who her silent partner or colleague is or mentor.
Mm. Yeah, because she did ingratiate herself with the team and with Black Lightning pretty quickly.
Yeah, and the whole like when she went to kiss Black Lightning, and I can't remember what she said. It was super cheesy, like "I need you" or "I can't be without you" or something silly like that. I was just like, it seemed over the top and like kind of like misdirection almost.
Well, talking about someone who might be undercover, we get more of Tara and Slade this episode. But she's holding back, it seems, because she seems to be liking this team.
And that's, I mean, she does kind of go that route in like the Marv Wolfman, George Perez, you know, 80s run of the Titans. You know, she kind of has conflicting like thoughts, and I I'm sure you guys saw like the Judas Contract, you know, the animated
Mhm.
uh, movie,
Yeah.
and she kind of does the same kind of thing. So I'm thinking in the end she'll probably, you know, stab him in the back, but she'll you know, probably feel bad.
I feel like she's probably gonna actually live this time.
That's interesting. I haven't. I've always just considered, you know, she's gonna die just because that's how they always do it with her. But
Yeah, I think she might have.
that would be
Yeah.
interesting though.
Yeah, because we don't really get to explore the character outside of that story. We've never had, like, a beyond the whole Judas Contract, so I'd like to see more of her past that.
Yeah, I wonder if maybe because like, you know, I can't recall if she was related to Geoforce or Brianna in the comics. I want to say no. I could definitely be wrong on that. But I
I
wonder
think
if
she
having
is.
is she okay? I'm wondering maybe since he's in the mix, he might be able to save her then possibly.
Yeah, maybe. We also see Calder helping the new meta team adjust to living in Atlantis, Pisanitis? I don't know how to pronounce that really, but, what did you think of all that? Because they were sort of teasing that maybe they were gonna get together, and then it flipped on us.
Oh, yeah, it definitely seemed like him and Dolphin were, or who I'm presuming is Dolphin, were going to be like an item, but then it switched up. And like I
Yeah,
said,
I
I
don't
mean,
know what they're gonna do with that character, the new meta teen. She's gotten now 2 episodes. I'm interested to see what they do with her.
yeah, I am too, because I'm honestly not very familiar with Dolphin. So like I really don't know what to expect with her character. So that's a new one for me. I
Yeah,
just seen people on the thread say that she's Dolphin. That's actually the only reason I know that, or
me too.
people are assuming it's Dolphin. But the
Me
one
too.
thing that
That's the only reason why I even have that name going through my head at all.
yeah, the one
Now
The one
oh,
thing that threw me off was the when Calder was introducing her to his parents, like you see his mom, which we've never seen before, which is I thought kind of funny that they just threw that in the mix. Like it seems super unnecessary to like these, you know, these are my parents, and you know, clearly that's his stepdad, the guy that said he was from like San Diego or something like that. But
mhm.
the whole time I was watching that, I was like thinking about his mom. I was like, how come you never told him his dad was Black Manta?
Oh.
You know, because in season 2, it's revealed that you know he finds that out. You know, and that
Yeah,
it's
I
the
didn't think
original.
about it at the time that I was watching it. I was just like, "Oh, another scene." But you're right. Why were they introduced? Are they going to play a bigger role? What's going to happen with that?
Yeah, and one thing about the second half of the season, honestly, has been just kind of hit or miss for me with like a lot of the episodes. Like, and I know a lot of other people have expressed the same thoughts or whatever on the threads about how it just feels like there's too much going on that's not part of the main plot. I don't want to be offensive and say unnecessary drama or anything, but I just feel like there's too many things being introduced and like it just kind of spread too thin. But I also hear that
Mhm.
like the next season's going to be like focused on a smaller group and everything, and I'm curious what group that'll be.
Yeah. I can see that, and a lot of people do agree with you, but for me, personally, I just like the episodes more the second half of the season. They're not as interconnected, which is a bummer, but I just prefer the cast that is getting showcased this second half to the first half, and I like the stories more.
I hear you. I do like the Outsiders. I like that team. Like if they were to take Beast Boy and Geoforce and all them and like focus on them like they did like the original season and give us more time to grow with them, I would definitely be down for that.
Yeah, we definitely need more of them. I wanted more of them in the first half. I think if they would have set more of a, like, foundation for them in the first half, we could have had a better result, like, people accepting them this second half.
Yeah.
Now Calder does end up being revealed to be an LGBT character, and according to Greg Weisman, I believe, on Twitter, he was always meant to be gay, but on Cartoon Network, they, like, squashed that. They told him no. So they made him bring in Tula, Aqua Girl. So I'm not really sure if he's gay or bi or something else. Um, but that was just, like, thrown in at the end during those still images, so I hope we get more clarification as to who Wind is, I believe his name is. He was in the tie-in comics.
Mhm.
So what his purpose is, because we saw him with the King of Atlantis, Orin. So what does he do? Because in the tie-in comics, he was not the best person.
Okay, I haven't seen that tie. You talking about like the tie-in comics from like the first season or like the first two seasons?
Yes, he was in one of those.
Okay, I actually hadn't read all those. So like he's a totally new character to me. I didn't think that he was Tempest or whatever because I was like he should be doing stuff on the surface world because he's part of like the UN and whatnot.
Mhm.
But yeah, I actually didn't know who that character was.
Yeah, he does kind of look like Garth, and I saw a lot of people actually think it was Garth. The only reason why I didn't was because his hair is way longer than Garth's. Garth had that little ponytail. Um, but yeah, he definitely looks a lot like Garth.
Hmm.
All right, Toonatonian, do you want to move over to Swamp Thing?
I'm ready. Yeah, let's do it. So this week we just got finished watching today the last episode of Swamp Thing on DCU. Aquaman saw it. Um, it was great from beginning to end. I'm pleased with how they finished it since they had to finish it. Aquaman.
Yeah, I was super satisfied. I've been satisfied with the whole show, honestly. I am really curious. Like, I know, they had to cannibalize the last 3 episodes, but they were allowed to go back and like kind of retrofit them or whatever term you want to use to like make it
Right.
make the story make sense and deliver a satisfying ending. I'm curious
Yeah,
to see. I was just curious to see what
I thought they
part.
did a good job.
Yeah, no, I definitely think they did a great job for sure, and it leaves you wanting more.
It really does. Yeah, I have like this silly little hope inside that something somewhere will show up and get picked up from it in some kind of iteration. I'm like, just give me any little piece. Give me Madame Xanadu, give me Blue Devil, give me an Arcane story, just Woodrow, any little thing. They could pick whatever they wanted. It's all going to be great. So,
Hey,
yeah,
I
I'll
really
hang on to
go
that.
for
Yeah,
what
I mean,
happened in the
I would
credits,
really
guys.
love for it to have second season in some fashion for sure. But I remember seeing like a member on the community, Turk, son of Stone, very well informed with things when he posts, and he was saying that they had already broken the set down and dismantled everything, which apparently the sets are like super expensive, so the chances of a sequel might be kind of slim, which is disappointing. But
Yeah, I heard the same thing, and yeah, even considering getting a second season of that Swamp Thing seems too much to even hope. So I'll take any little bit as something.
it would be really cool if it was like a Firefly situation, if like enough fans or the
Ooh,
people up top hear enough requests or whatever, and they do like just a movie
ooh,
to kind of finish it up. I would definitely be down, or even if
yay!
or just an animated movie, even just to continue the story. I think that would be awesome.
I do too. Yeah, because then you can just keep it kind of alive and going a little bit.
And I know like people say animation is expensive. I mean, of course, but like it's definitely. I imagine it would be a lot cheaper than whatever that budget was, like 80 million or something like that.
Right.
Yeah, I loved it,
So, yeah,
and I'm so glad that Maddie had a happy ending.
Right. Yeah.
Spoilers, sorry.
Can you guys hear me okay?
Yeah, I
Um,
hear you now.
Oh, good, good, good. Yeah, I was just curious if you wanted to reveal what happens in the post credits.
if you want to take that tune.
Man, I feel bad spoiling things for people though.
Oh no, man, it's one of the best things in the world. Go on and spoil away.
We've all been warned.
Well,
Okay, I'll do it. So Swamp Thing is fighting some people in the swamp, and then Doomsday from Krypton jumps in out of nowhere and just kills everybody. It's insane.
Is that really what happens?
Really, really, donkey.
see, you're gonna have to watch it now because you're gonna need to know, right?
Oh, I plan on watching it. It's just like, I don't want it to end yet after last week.
I completely understand New 52. That's how I was with Parks and Recs. Like I didn't want that show to end. So like it took me 2 years to watch the last episode. I was at a friend's house and they forced me to.
Oh,
Now, if any of the characters from Swamp Thing could live on another DC Universe show, who do you think would be like the best fit and on what show?
I feel like Blue Devil or Abby Arcane could definitely mingle with Doom Patrol. Or perhaps
oh, I would love to see that.
Blue Devil with Doom Patrol and Abby Arcane could possibly help out with Titans, maybe.
Yeah,
Or oh
yeah, I
gosh,
want to see
maybe
more Blue Devil for sure.
even Xanadu help out with Titans.
Oh, with Raven.
Yeah.
Oh, that would make sense. We could weave that. Do it.
Be awesome.
And Woodrow could show up on Doom Patrol as a villain.
He could show up on anything and I would watch it. He was so good at being the bad guy. I mean, he'll always be the coach.
He
of the
was
Titans.
awful.
Oh, what if
He was
Avery?
awful.
Oh, you're talking about Woodrow. You mean? I'm sorry. I was thinking of Avery.
Oh, Sunderland. He's good too, but I would see him more as like, oh, maybe he could be a villain to Doom Patrol.
He could coach the Titans. He was the coach from Remember the Titans.
Oh, I didn't know that. Now, were you all satisfied with how the story of each character ended?
I am. Yeah, I'm really pleased with how they nicely kind of wrapped up and put a bow on it, but still left it where, like, I have the dream that one of the characters could have something else, another show or something, some kind of spin-off.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was tastefully done. Like between Abby and Swamp Thing, like the goals they set, in their last little scene and stuff like that. It gives you hope and allows you to kind of fantasize what'll happen next with them. And then Blue Devil had a great ending. You know, kind of Fast and Furious style. And yeah, I felt bad for Maria a little bit, but besides that, I think everything ended. They wrapped it up pretty dang good.
You're right. Now I'm like, oh, what did we do with Maria? Oh,
Yeah, she was chilling in an
but
invisible rocking chair.
Aw.
oh, oops. But the rest of it was really. Now you're kind of like, well, huh.
Yeah, it makes you sad.
Oh, that's a bummer because she was such like a big presence in the season as a whole.
Yeah, that's sad. But maybe she'll show up somewhere with who knows what.
All
I
right.
think I was gonna say, I think that wraps it up for Swamp Thing. I think though.
All right. So
I think so
unfortunately,
too.
yeah, unfortunately, news is quiet this week. There was so much news coming out of Comic-Con, so it only makes sense. So let's go a little bit off topic. What other superhero related stuff have you guys been doing? Because I know Nathan has been watching The Boys on Amazon.
Oh God, yeah.
I have been too. Yeah, right? Yeah, me too. Yeah, that was that's good.
You
Very
guys
good.
finished it?
I had to laugh. I got, and I posted this on Discord. I got in my email because I use Voodoo to get one of the episodes of Krypton because our cable box didn't record one episode. And right now, as we're speaking, there's a watch along on Voodoo for Marvel Endgame,
I saw that.
and
I saw that too.
and what's his name, Fane or whatever, the one that's over all that stuff. And it's like I'm like, wow. So now they're doing watch alongs too, sort of, kind of.
Yeah, and how
Voodoo.
and like how the world gifted us all of the Pennyworth episodes, like all of a sudden surprise. I was like, woo, that's how you
Yes.
treat your fans. Yeah, that was
Oh, I'm in trouble
delightful.
because of Pennyworth. Oh, Pennyworth really threw a wrench in my world. I, decided to do this watch along tomorrow at 4:00 at 3:00 your time, Toonatonian. And
Right.
I didn't realize it was so long. I'm just supposed to go pick up my wife at her job. Like
Oh
5.
no.
Oh, I'm just gonna let her take the car. Just have her take it. I gave my other car to my daughter for the month because she needs it for moving into an apartment. All this. So basically, I'm just gonna be home, and my wife can enjoy the car at her job, and I'll just do Pennyworth, and it's all good. But it's just hilarious. I didn't realize it was an hour and 20 minutes.
Yeah, I'd have to join
it goes
you.
by fast.
That's just for the first episode, though. The other ones I think are like 50 or just under an hour. But I was blown away by that show. Like, so I have Amazon Prime, and I was super delighted to find out that I guess you get the EPIX or EPEX, whatever it's called. You get it for free, I guess, if you have Amazon Prime. And
Wow.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah, and they had all 3
Yeah.
episodes, and I binged the heck out of them. And
Me too, because I was afraid it would go away. I was like, oh, really? All 3 of them? I'm like, is this a mistake? I'm like, what is this? So yeah, I saw it in the morning and I was like, please let me be able to watch it when I get home from work. And I did. So I just watched them like as quick as I could when I got home from work because it was. I didn't want it to go away because I was so excited to
Now,
watch
New
it. It was so
52,
good.
you have it as well, then, right?
I've watched the first episode. It was absolutely stunningly shot. The cinematography is amazing. The acting is really good. The action is good. But yeah, I remember when I found out that the episodes had dropped, I went and watched the first episode as soon as I could because I was like, is it going to go away? Just like you, Toonatonian.
Right?
I was in the same boat. I so thought it was like a fluke because if you look at the date for the next 2 episodes, it's like for August something,
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, so I watched them all, and I agree. The acting is fantastic, man. And I didn't have I wasn't looking forward to the show. I didn't have any expectations or anything like that, and it just blew me away. Like, it is really good.
Yeah, I was looking forward to it when I heard they were going to do one, but yeah, I was waiting to, get it because I needed to get Epic to watch it. But no, they gifted that to us. I was like, yay! Thank
I
you.
do want to
That
make
makes me so
clear.
happy.
I want to make sure it's very clear. I'm only going to do the one watch along this Saturday because I don't have it after that. But September, we'll probably go ahead and do our little Christmas season Amazon subscription. So hopefully I'll get to see it. Hopefully it'll still be there when we arrive in September.
Yeah, and I would suspect it must be a pretty, like, they must have a nice kind of open deal on having it be viewable multiple places, and maybe that has to do with the Time Warner merger, so maybe they have more flexibility. So, like, hang on to hope that we'll just get it gifted other places, Donnell.
So cool. So cool. So cool. How many more weeks before Titans start?
It starts September 6th, I believe.
Cool. Cool. Cool.
All
Well,
right.
that's something I'm really looking forward to that starting up. That's for
Me too. That'll
What
be
are
great.
y'all's thoughts or expectations for season 2? Like, what do you want to go down?
Just more
I
Hawk
think it's
and
going to be
Dove.
crazy. All these different superheroes that they're showing snapshots of the, where they're filming it and all that. I mean, come on. It's just got, including, I think they have one of the Aquaman characters showing up.
Garth.
Yeah, Garth, I think, shows up. And, of course, you got Superboy, the Superboy, that's the clone with the Crypto, the dog of all things. And I think some other characters as well. It's like, I don't even know how they're going to handle this many. It looks like fun.
Keep
That
forgetting.
sounds good. I'm excited to see Crypto. That'll be good. I didn't know they're going to have Crypto. Cool.
Keep forgetting that Superboy and Crypto are going to be in the second season.
I know. I keep forgetting about them too.
I'm hoping that
It's almost too much, yeah.
the way
But then
they ended
again,
it.
hopefully, is full of anxiety as the first season, right, where we really got to be sad for many episodes and all those dreams. What was there? Three of those episodes were like dream sequences. So I guess they will have plenty of these new characters if they all don't fall asleep and have dreams again.
Yeah, but I had only seen like the Titans like cartoons and animated stuff. That's been my only exposure to the Titans. Like Titans Go to the movies and then their Teen Titans Go. So it was nice to see it was different for me to see like a grown up version.
Yeah.
And
I
got an introduction to it.
I definitely recommend going on the DCU app and reading Wolfman's run of the Titans. It's one of the best, I swear. And what I feel like what I'm hoping
There's
for.
so much.
Yeah.
Well, this adult, they like really grow up quick in his series. They're getting married and all this other stuff going on.
Mm-hmm. I'm hoping for the second season. So, like, if you guys remember, at the end of the first season, they kind of cannibalized that last episode. But when Dick Grayson's in the car with Donna Troy and Starfire, and she's like translating that book, she talks about like the 400 days of like combat trial. And if you remember, they had like a little clip from like the last episode that we didn't see where like Raven's in her comic book accurate like costume, and Starfire's got some other purple outfit on. And I'm wondering if like it starts off with Raven going in and doing like those 400 days of trials, like having that be like the first part, and they take on Trigon. And I would love for them to, like, when they introduce Slade and everything, incorporate the Hive, and then end it with them investigating like Brother Blood, and then season 3 leading up to like the Judas contract. I think that would be a really cool way to go about it.
Wow.
Nicely done.
Very, very, very cool.
All right. Is there anything else you guys want to say or plug going on at the DC universe?
I can see it's coming up here in a second where we may make comments, but I'll just say again, what fun we had this week coming up with all these different channels to listen to the podcast. I'm glad it worked out. There's all kinds of platforms now.
Yeah, that's great. I was happy to see it show up. Thanks for putting in the work, Donnell.
It was quite the adventure to find all these free sites that I know of and finding out that they all have these odd limits. I've used SoundCloud for years for my music stuff, And there it's like, little 4 or 5 minute recordings, right? So you don't even think about it. Here, I put on the first 3 episodes. It's like, you're tapped out, pal. 3 hours is all we're giving you.
Yeah, it's always very educational to start researching that.
But we figured it out. So lots of fun.
Yeah, Donnell, thank you for doing the heavy lifting. I'm not tech savvy or know much about different apps and stuff like that.
Well, I'm using all free stuff, but what's funny is converting it for YouTube. I actually set it up on my computer with Movie Maker. If you have a Windows computer, you have it for free. It takes all night. I just let the computer just cook it all night, and then when I get up the next morning, it's ready.
Yeah, that's a nice way to do it. Smart.
So much fun.
Now, I just want to go ahead and shout out Jay DeBottis, who does Fourth World Problems. It's a series in the fan creations that's super hilarious, and people should go check it out.
Right on.
Speaking of that, I was going to mention when you folks were talking about Young Justice and the whole thing with the surprises about the one character, Keldor. Immediately I was thinking of Nathan's series, where he gets into characters that are aquatic and all that.
Oh yeah, with Hydro and them.
Oh yeah. It just reminded me so much of it, even with the romantic entanglements and all that. I was like, wait a minute, did they steal this from Nathan?
Speaking of Nathan, last week he talked about Superman's pal, Jimmy Olsen. Has anybody read that comic besides me?
No, is it like the Kirby one?
It's it's new. It just came out. Superman's pal, Jimmy Olsen.
Okay, no, I haven't read that.
Well, Nathan mentioned last week that he thought that Jimmy dies in it, and I was like, I need to pick this up. So it's fun, and he does, but he doesn't. So I encourage everybody. It's a fun read.
Oh yeah. I was one that said I'd read the preview where it shows the first couple of pages. It says, "Yep, welcome to Jimmy Olsen's comic. By the way, we're going to kill him in the end."
Right? I know. I'm like, what? I'm like, I have to check this out. So, yeah.
I love Jimmy Olsen's little section, and I always say it wrong. The Leviathan or Leviathan. I think it was either issue 1 or 2, dealing with what's her name, that bounty hunter.
I have it. I haven't read it, but I have the issues. But I still need to read them. It's
pretty funny.
And I'm glad to hear that he's at least got a little bit in it. I always like seeing him, Jimmy Olsen.
Now, speaking of Nathan for a second, remember when we see Nathan again, he's no longer Master Payson. He's now Mr. Payson.
That's right. Yes, because he had a birthday.
He's now 18.
Woo!
I grew up so fast.
I know. I remember when he was still a kid.
Yeah, we knew him when.
You've changed, bro.
I wonder if Nathan will listen to the podcast. One wonder.
Shout out to Nathan though. Like I just finished volume 2 of Hydro, and it's really good, man. Halfway through, man, things really get intense. I read it like late at night, and I was gonna stop, and then things just were getting so crazy. I had to finish it. It was. I definitely recommend anyone out there definitely check out Hydro volume 1 and 2.
Well, for both his and also New 52 story with Jason, I keep asking myself, I'm trying to figure out where are they pulling some of this basic fictional world from? Because I realize it's supposed to be from the comics, but I keep thinking, wait a minute, it's kind of the comics, but I think they're throwing their own thing in here a little.
Yeah, New 52, your story is seriously fantastic. Really, I feel like you get an illustrator that could be an actual like comic run, and stop torturing us and get the next installment up there.
Thank you so much for that, Aquaman. I'm gonna try to continue it. It's just a little hectic right now, but thank you so much. Those words actually do encourage me to do more.
You're most welcome. I mean, it's a fantastic story, and I was just playing with you.
I just really hope someday my secret creation can see the light of day. Who knows? We'll see.
I know. I'm so interested about that, Donnell.
It's like nothing you've ever seen before. I can tell you that.
Well, I hope we get to see that soon. I also wanted to plug the World of Wonder again. We're reading the first 6 issues of George Perez's run, as well as the first issue of Justice League Dark that came out in 2018. So I hope you all can join me on that. If you can't, I understand. But yeah, is there anything else any of you want to talk about or mention?
Well, as you mentioned that, I'm just going to throw out the gauntlet to others. Who's going to be brave enough to start the Batman Club?
I was thinking about doing a book club. I've never done one. I had an idea for Batman and then one for Superman. The Superman one would be since For All Seasons is getting its 21st anniversary next month. I was thinking about maybe doing like 2. It's a 4-part run. I was thinking maybe do 2 one week and then 2 another week. I mean, it's a fantastic story, one of my favorites. And then for the Batman, I know everyone, he's DC #1 and everything. But there's this one, I can't think of the writer right now. I want to say it's from like either the late 80s or early 90s. It was like Batman Shaman. It's a really good story, and I don't ever hear people talking about it. It's like a 6-part arc, and then the next one that follows is like it's called Batman Gotham or whatever. And I believe people are more familiar with the Gotham, but the first 6 issues were Shaman, and it's a really good story, great art.
Yeah, I actually have copies of that here. I think that's from the Legends of the Dark Knight series.
Yeah, that's what it's called. That's right. Thank you.
That's probably why it sounds familiar. I actually picked that up not too long ago at my local comic book shop. So I guess if you do the book club, I'll have a reason to open it up.
Oh, cool. Have you read The Shaman, like the first 6 issues?
No, I haven't. So that'll make me do it, right?
Well, then I'll probably do it then.
I'll join you on that because I've never even heard of it.
Oh yeah, it's definitely good. Well,
Okay,
then it will be so.
That wraps up what we have for today. If you like this podcast, please let us know what you thought. Next week, we will talk about Young Justice. Hopefully, we get some Titans footage, maybe a trailer. Also, if we hit 10 subscribers on Google Play, we will expand to Apple Podcasts. And now we are on YouTube and SoundCloud. So see you next week. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Good night, y'all.